Now we are going to discuss the next problem of exercise 3.6, which is the second question. Here what's the question given here? If the LCM of two numbers is 216 and their product is 7776, what will be its HCF? Right? We have already discussed what is the relationship between the LCM and the HCF. If you make the product of the LCM and the HCF, you will get the product of the given two numbers. By using that relation, you need to find the value of the HCF here. Here what they have given? They have given the HCF and they have given the product. First writing what is given in the problem. So here, first what is given here? LCM of two numbers. So they have given the LCM of two numbers, which is 216, and they have given their product, and their product is how much? 7776. This is the problem they have given. Now you need to find the value of the HCF. So that first write the relation what we know here. So we know that LCM into HCF is always equal to the product of the given numbers. Right? Product of the numbers. So what they have given, just write it. What is the LCM they have given, which is 260. So here 260. What is HCF that we have to find it? So write it here, HCF is equal to product of the numbers. First they have given their product, they have given as 7776. So write it here, 7776. Now we need to find the value of the HCF. You know that here multiplication is there. If you take to the right hand side, it will become division. So write it here, HCF is equal to 7776 by 216. Now check it here in which table it will both the values will get cancelled, and you know that in 6 table it will get cancelled. So cancel it here and here. How much you will get? 6 3s are 18, right? And after that 3 will be left out. 6 6s are 36. You can do directly here, or you can do by using the normal division also, right? 6 3s are 18. How much will be left out? 3, and you know that 6 6s are 36. You are getting the remainder as 0. But here I am doing directly. So here check for the numerator. What will get here? 7 1s are 7, 6 1s are 6, and 1 will be remainder of 17. And after that 6 2s are 12, and 6 9s are 54, 6 6s are 36. And again these two numbers are divisible by 6. So 6 6s are 36, and here 6 2s are 12, 6 1s are 6, 6 6s are 36. And again these two numbers are divisible by 6, and here 6 3s are 18. If you take 18, again you will get 3, you are getting here 36. So here after doing the cancellation, you will get the answer which is 36, or you can do the normal division also. So here what is the HCF in this case, which is 36. So that means if you have given two values, you can find the other value by using this one. The relationship, what is the relationship here? The LCM into HCF is equal to product of the two numbers, and they have given the LCM and their product. Now by using the relation we have find the HCF. Now see the next question. This question you can do as a homework, which is similar to that of this question. So here you can do this one as a homework, which is exercise 3.6, third question. Now once see the third question, what is given here? The product of two numbers is see the last question in this exercise, which is the fourth question. Here was the fourth question given here. HCF of two numbers is 6 and their LCM is 36. If one of the number is 12, find the other. So what you have given, first write it. What they have given the HCF and they have given the LCM and they have given one number. You know that LCM and the HCF is equal to the product of the two numbers. In that one number is given, we need to find the other number. So write it first what you have given. The HCF of two numbers is 6. They have given the HCF of the two numbers is 6 and LCM of the two numbers is 36 and one of the number they have given the one of the number as 12. You need to find the other number. So if you want to find the other number, you have to write what is the relationship between the LCM and the HCF. So write it here. We know that LCM into HCF is always be equal to the product of the numbers. So just substitute what they have given here. They have given the value of LCM which is 36 and they have given the HCF which is 6 and the product of the given numbers. Since here the two numbers we have there, in that one number is given which is 12. So write here 12 into, we don't know the other number, we need to find that number. So 12 into, write in the other number. Or you can consider some variable which is x. So I am writing here the other number, or you can place it here the x. So 36 into 6. If you take this 12 to this side, it will become division. So you get here 12. If you calculate this one, you will come to know what will be the other number. So here in which table it will get cancelled. So check it here. 6 1 are 6 and 6 2 are 12. And after that here 2 1s are 2 and 1 will be left out which is 16. And after that 2 8s are 16. So what will be the other number? Therefore the other number is 18. Like this you need to find it here what they have given. They have given the LCM and the HCF and they have given one of the number. You need to find the other number and after substituting the relation we got the other number which is 18. From this section is completed. Now we are going to learn some more divisibility rules. What are those? Check it here. So up to now we have discussed in this chapter the divisibility rules and after that we have discussed about the factors and after that we conclude about what is meant by the LCM and HCF and what are the methods to find it and what is the relationship between them. Now we are going to learn some more divisibility rules here, which is the divisibility rule for 4, 8 and 11. These we have to discuss now before going to start the next exercise. So here the next one, divisibility rule for 4. What is the divisibility rule for 4? Here the divisibility rule for 4 says here, if the last two digits of the number is divisible by 4, then we can say that the given number is divisible by 4. Let us take two examples here. Consider here 216. Here if you want to check the given number is divisible by 4, just there is no need to do the actual division. This is nothing but the divisibility rule. By seeing the number itself, we can be able to say whether that number is divisible by 4 or not. For that reason, you need to check the last two digits of the number. In this case, what is the last two digits? 16. And you need to check will come in the 4 table or not, or you need to check whether the 16 is divisible by 4 or not. So if you are dividing this one with 4, what you will get? 4 4 is 16. You know that since we are getting the remainder as 0, so we can say that this number is divisible by 4. Similarly, consider here 4268. Consider this number. So if you want to check whether this number is divisible by 4 or not, what we need to do? We need to check for the last 2 digits. What is the last 2 digits in this case? Which is 68. Now you need to check whether this 68 is divisible by 4 or not. So you can check it here. 68, right? 4 ones are 4. How much the remainder? Which is 2, 8. And after that, how much you will get? 4 sevens are 28. Right? So here you know that since the remainder is 0, and we can say that this number is divisible by 4. So what is the divisibility rule for 4? Just you need to check the last 2 digits of a number, and if the last 2 digits of the number is divisible by 4, then we can say that the given number is divisible by 4. Now check here 100. Here it is very important. We have just now we have revised these two. What we have checked here, the last 2 digits of a number. If the last 2 digits of a number is divisible by 4, then we can say that the given number is divisible by 4. In this case, if you see this number, what is the last 2 digits here? 0 0. If the last 2 digits are 0 0, then only we can say that the given number is divisible by 4. Let us consider 600. This number is also divisible by 4. 4200. This number is also divisible by 4. That means if the last 2 digits ends with 0 0, that number is also divisible by 4. Why? Because you know that 100 is divisible by 4. Because when 25 is 100. So here, if you see here 600, you can write the 600 as 6 into 100. Right? What is the divisibility rule for 4? We need to check the last 2 digits. So if you write this one, what will be the last 2 digits here? Which is 100, and you know that again 100 is divisible by 4. So we can say that this number is divisible by 4. So what is the divisibility rule for 4? You need to check the last 2 digits of a number. If the last 2 digits of a number is divisible by 4, you can say that that number is divisible by 4. And again, if the last 2 digits are zeros, then also we can say that the given number is divisible by 4. Now, see the divisibility rule for 8. What is the divisibility rule for 8? Here, before divisibility rule for 4, we have checked the last 2 digits. In case of 8, you need to check the last 3 digits. If the last 3 digits of a number is divisible by 8, then we can say that the number is divisible by 8. So here, you need to check it here the last 3 digits. In the case of the divisibility rule for 4, we have checked the last 2 digits. In case of 8, we need to check the last 3 digits. Consider the example 93,624. If you want to check whether this number is divisible by 8 or not, what we need to do? We need to check the last 3 digits of a number. In this case, what are the last 3 digits? These are the last 3 digits, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 digit number. Now, you need to check whether this number is divisible by 8 or not. If it is divisible by 8, that means you have to get the remainder as 0 by dividing this number with 8. If you are getting the remainder as 0, we can say that that number is divisible by 8. So check it here, 6, 24 and 8. So how much you will get here? 8 7s are 56, right? And after that, here 8 8s are 64. You are getting here the remainder as 0. So we can say that this number is divisible by 8. So what is the divisibility rule for 8? You need to check the last 3 digits of a number. If the last 3 digits of a number is divisible by 8, we can say that the number is divisible by 8. Similarly here, if the last 3 digits of a number ends with 0, 3 zeros, then also we can say that the number is divisible by 8 because this 1000 is divisible by 8. The same thing we have discussed in case of 4, but here the condition, the last 2 digits, here the condition will be the last 3 digits. So what is the divisibility rule for 4? Last 2, you have to check the last 2 digits. If the last 2 digits are divisible by 4, we can say that the number is divisible by 4. Or the in the last digit should be zeros. Now see the divisibility rule for 11. What it states? Here the divisibility rule for 11 states that you need to take the difference of the sum of the digits of the odd places and the sum of the digits of the even places. If you are getting the result as 0 or the number which is divisible by 11, then we can say that that number is divisible by 11. Again, what it states here, you need to take the difference of sum of the digits of the even places and the sum of the digits of the odd places. And after taking the difference, if you are getting the answer as 0 or you are getting the number which is divisible by 11, then we can say that that number is divisible by 11. Let us consider here some example 1, 2, 4, 3. Here, first what we need to do? We need to take the sum of the odd digits. So, first you need to take what? The sum of the odd digits. Right? So, here, what is the sum of the odd digit? You know that it is the first digit, second digit, third digit and fourth digit. Here, these two are odd digits. So, you need to take the sum of the odd digits. What is the sum of the odd digits in this case, which is 5. Similarly, you need to take the sum of the even digits. So, what we need to take here now? The sum of the even digits. Here, what are the even digits? These two and these two, right? It is the first digit, second digit, third digit, fourth digit. So, here, you need to take the sum of the even digits. In this case, what are the even digits? Which is 1 plus 4. So, write it here 1 plus 4, which is 5. Now, what the rule says? You need to take the difference. If you take the difference of these two, what you are getting? You are getting 5 minus 5, which is 0. So, what the divisibility rule says here for the 11? If you have given any number, first you need to take the sum of the odd digits, and after that you need to take the sum of the even digits. And again, you need to subtract those two values if you are getting the answer as 0, or suppose if you get here some number like this, which is 11. Let us suppose you got 11, and or let us consider here, let us suppose you got here the answer as 33. So, you know that 33 is divisible by 11. So, you can say that again that number is divisible by 11. So, what will be the condition here? The difference between the sum of the odd digits and the sum of the even digits is either 0 or the number is divisible by 11. Then we can say that the given number is divisible by 11. Now here, see one more example here. 6, 5, 3, 5. If you want to check this number is divisible by 11 or not, first you need to take the sum of the odd digits. So, what is the sum of the odd digits in this case, which is 5 plus 5, which is 10. And after that, now you need to take the sum of the even digits. What are the even digits here? 6 plus 3, which is 9. Now, what we need to do? We need to take the difference. What is the difference between these two? Which is 1. And what the divisibility rule for 11 says? You have to get the difference either as 0 or the number is divisible by 11. Here, in this case, in this number, if you consider this number, you are not getting the result as 0, and you know that this number is not divisible by 11 also. So, we can say that this number is not divisible by 11. So, we have discussed about these divisibility rules, which is 4, 8 and 11. Based on this, we are going to solve the next exercise in the next session. From this session is completed.